When Francis Ford Coppola set out to make his film about the Vietnam War, he didn't know that he'd be shooting for 283 days. The film is remembered for that fact almost as much as for its content.
Little did I know that it really was quite outside the norm of conventional movie making.
Francis created Vietnam for us, you know, in a way. The madness that was involved and everything was sort of the essence of that war.
Apocalypse Now is loosely based on Joseph Conrad's classic Heart of Darkness. Previous attempts to adapt Conrad's story to the screen had failed. Orson Welles took it on, and even he abandoned it, turning instead to something he thought might be easier, Citizen Kane. For Coppola, the Conrad story had mesmerizing parallels in America's nightmare journey into Vietnam.
What I was interested in making Apocalypse Now was not really political. It was more kind of, I was interested more in the moral contradictions and the philosophical aspect of it. I think that's more clear in this new version.
Production of Apocalypse Now had demanded enormous quantities of military equipment and supplies. The actors supplied the courage.
It was real balls of fire, and it was just, luckily nobody got hit. But you know, I love that heightened reality.
We had a tremendous camaraderie on the set, especially the fellas on the boat. You know, Frederick Forrest and Lawrence Fishburne, Albert Hall, Martin Sheen. We were a very tight team. We ran that boat, and that was our life support. And we all relied on one another very much, and we worked off of each other.
It's just better than anything I've ever experienced. It was like we lived there. We were like a family. So there was a lot of love and respect there for everyone involved. It was like, yeah, it was like a veteran kind of feeling, you know?
Over there we met, well, it was lots and lots of guys, GIs, who just left Vietnam, and they were still living or stationed or temporarily moving through the Philippines. And they came and let us know what that war was really like, and the heightened our sense of the reality of it, you know? And so we were fortunate to have as many guys as we did who had actually been in Vietnam, been up and down those rivers on those PBRs, been wounded, you know. And they created some really deep realities for us.
For some, the realities were severe. Lead actor Martin Sheen suffered a heart attack. Sheen was out of the production for 5 weeks. Scenes of him on the patrol boat were shot from behind, using a double. Then, already way behind schedule and over budget, the production was halted for 2 months by a typhoon.
At the time, it was miserable, it was horrible. But in hindsight, it was, you know, you were just glad, I just feel very honored to be a part of it.
When the rains came, my desire was just to keep shooting. You know, the boat had been washed 20 feet away from the river, and we, you know, everyone said, well, let's just go home. We can't even work. So I said, no, let's shoot, you know, and we literally went in groups and dug little like holes and filled them with water so that we could float the boat back. And we shot one amazing sequence in the storm itself.
This was one of the scenes cut from the original release. With its restoration and the addition of more of the surfing sequence and the French plantation scene, it is finally the film that Coppola intended it to be.
I think the new material, the new edit of Apocalypse Now really doesn't say anything differently than the old one. It just says it better.
It doesn't just say it better, it looks better.
Technicolor has revived the old original Technicolor 3-strip dye transfer process in which the movie is actually printed with dyes on a clear. It's not a photographic process, it's a printing process, so the colors are very vivid and the blacks are very black, and Walter remixed the picture, so it was really a rebirth of the film, which is why I called it Redux.
Everything that's been put back in the film that wasn't in the film as we've known it is stuff that I've been carrying around with me for a long time, that I know about, that I was there for, that, you know, I was part of, you know, the team of people that created it, but nobody's ever seen it before.
But the director has not only added 54 minutes, he's also taken out an element that in the original had caused some audience confusion.
The compound, the Anchor Wat-like massive structure, when we finished, we had to destroy it because it was unsafe, and so we blew it up. And we said, well, let's just photograph it with every type of film, infrared film, high-speed cameras, everything we could do. Who knows what we would be able to do with it? And that material really didn't find a place in the movie. And when the film went out into broad release, since the original film had no credits and had a program instead, we originally put the credits over the shots of the compound blowing up. But many people misunderstood, thought that was a second ending, that it meant that Willard had called in an airstrike and killed all those people. And I didn't. I wanted the last images of Apocalypse Now not to be warlike. I wanted it to sort of imply a future without war.